Well, just when I thought U.S. politics couldn't sink any lower, the death of legal giant and feminist icon Ruth Bader Ginsburg has ignited another fierce political battle. Let's cut right to the chase. What the is going on with the Supreme Court? I'm Annie Klingenberg, and this is The Bully Pulpit.
I ask no favor for my sex. All I ask of our brethren is that they take their feet off our necks.
Few legal figures have garnered the reverence and adoration that Ruth Bader Ginsburg has. The Columbia graduate shaped the legal fight for gender equality in the 70s, winning 5 out of the 6 cases she argued in front of the Supreme Court, including landmark cases like Frontiero and Richardson and Weinberger versus Weisenfeld. The notorious RBG carved out a place for women in U.S. law and extended the liberties women enjoy through her advocacy. Her undisputable legal legacy earned her a seat on the High Court under President Bill Clinton in 1993. Our nation lost one of its sharpest minds and fiercest spirits when she died in September. This loss should transcend politics, but after all, this is the United States, so partisan fighting erupted almost instantly. With an election quickly approaching, questions surrounding who will fill the newly open seat and when it should be filled have consumed political discussion. To understand what's going on with the Supreme Court now, we should look at past precedents surrounding court nominations during a presidential election year.
We agree on a whole lot of stuff. You do. Ruth is really bad only on the knee-jerk stuff. She is...
Justice Antonin Scalia, often regarded as the head of the court's conservative wing, died in February of 2016. Then President Barack Obama wasted no time nominating Merrick Garland to fill Justice Scalia's seat. However, Mitch McConnell, leader of the Republican-controlled Senate, refused to allow any consideration for Obama's nominee for over 293 days, making it the longest nomination time in history. The nomination eventually expired with the start of the 115th Congress, and the vacancy was filled by Trump's conservative nominee, Neil Gorsuch. At the time, McConnell argued that it was important to set a precedent that justices should not be confirmed during an election year, saying, quote, "The American people should have a voice in the selection of their next Supreme Court justice. Therefore, this vacancy should not be filled until we have a new president." Public reaction to the block nomination was highly partisan. According to Pew Research Center, 80% of Democrats believe that Garland should have received a complete hearing, while 65% of Republicans thought the Senate was right to block the nomination. Current head of the Senate Judiciary, Lindsey Graham, like most of his Republican peers, staunchly opposed Garland's confirmation, going as far as to say,
"I want you to use my words against me. If there's a Republican president in 2016 and a vacancy occurs in the last year of the first term, you can say, Lindsey Graham said, let's let the next president, whoever it might be, make that nomination, and you could use my words against me and you'd be absolutely right."
Graham doubled down on this sentiment in an October 2018 interview with The Atlantic, saying, quote, "If an opening comes in the last year of President Trump's term and the primary process has started, we'll wait until the next election." Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, and many other Republicans are now going against the precedent they so passionately pushed to set in 2016, arguing that because the current president and Senate majority share the same party, the Senate should move forward the confirmation process, even though the seat opened less than 2 months before November's election and after voting has already started for the 2020 election. So, who exactly is Trump's nominee, and how could her appointment affect cases the court is set to hear? Amy Coney Barrett is a conservative intellectual who graduated first in her class from Notre Dame. The 48-year-old now serves as a judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 7th Circuit. Barrett's record on issues like gun rights, immigration, gay marriage, and abortion have made her popular with the religious right, while also drawing criticism from the left. While RBG was a reliable liberal vote on the court, Barrett is predicted to bring the same consistency to the conservative side. According to Jonathan Turley, a professor of law at George Washington University, quote, "Barrett is not a work in progress like some nominees. She is the ultimate deliverable for conservative votes." If Barrett is appointed, which is likely given the current Republican-led Senate, conservatives will hold a 6-3 majority on the High Court. This means conservatives will have enough votes to sway decisions without consensus within their wing. We could see the new conservative court in action just a week after November's election, when they're scheduled to hear a case brought by Republicans challenging the Affordable Care Act. In 2012, the Supreme Court upheld the law in a 5-4 decision, with Justice John Roberts breaking from his conservative peers and casting the deciding vote. If Barrett is appointed, the future of the Affordable Care Act is uncertain. So, things seem bleak for the Democrats, but is there anything they can do to shift the balance of the court? After RBG's death, Democrat leader Chuck Schumer told his caucus, quote, "Let me be clear. If Leader McConnell and Senate Republicans move forward with the nomination process, then nothing is off the table for next year. Nothing is off the table. Calls to expand the number of justices have been growing within the Democratic Party for some time, but the idea of court packing has gained even more traction since RBG's death. The Supreme Court has had 9 justices for well over a century, but the number of justices is not fixed within the Constitution and has been changed by Congress several times between the country's founding and the Civil War. In order to change the number of justices, Democrats would need a majority in Congress and a Democratic president. If that occurs, Congress would need to pass an act expanding the number of justices, and the president would need to sign off on it. Many Republicans have criticized the possibility of liberal court packing as radical and undemocratic. Representative Jim Jordan, a Republican and close ally of Trump, submitted a resolution to Congress shortly after RBG's death that would formally fix the court at 9 justices. The resolution asserts that, quote, any attempt to increase the number of justices of the Supreme Court of the United States or pack the court would undermine our democratic institutions and destroy the credibility of our nation's highest court. Regardless of where you stand on Barrett's appointment or the prospect of court packing, the current controversies surrounding the Supreme Court further stress the importance of voting. The future of healthcare, abortion rights, and LGBTQ issues are all on the ballot this November. Just vote, please. I'm Annie Klingenberg, and this has been The Bully Pulpit.